This video was supported by the Nick Morn Foundation. This week we travelled to Switzerland on one of our most sustainable adventures yet. A few of our friends came up with a plan to see if we could embark on the world's most sustainable ski trip, travelling from London to the Swiss Alps, and we just simply had to get involved. Our aim with this trip is to show you that you can enjoy the beauty of the Swiss Alps while also creating as close to zero carbon emissions as possible. We also aim to highlight the different ways that the people of Switzerland are reducing the environmental impact of all who visit and live there. So come join us as we explore this beautiful part of the world. Did you know that Switzerland only has a population of approximately 8 million people, but welcomes over 11 million tourists each year? With 4 official languages, rich history dating back thousands of years, the lowest crime rate in Europe, and plenty of places to visit no matter the season, Switzerland is a great destination for any traveller. In order to travel in the most sustainable way, we refuse to fly or even drive in any vehicle reliant on fossil fuels. This meant we needed to figure out how we could get trains from London to Switzerland.
It's 5:30 in the morning. Long travel day, but we're looking forward to it because there's going to be some scenic views.
Exactly, long day. It will be nice.
We arrived early in the morning at London's St Pancras station so that we could hop on the Eurostar to Paris.
We are going on the Eurostar.
First leg to Paris.
Quick tip, if you let Eurostar know in advance, they can prepare you a fully vegan breakfast, which actually tastes pretty good. We arrived in Paris at the Gare du Nord station, then took the Paris Metro to Gare de Lyon station, only 2 stops away, to make our second train of the day.
On our way to the second train.
From Gare de Lyon we hopped on a train for Lausanne, Switzerland, which only took about 3 hours, and it showed us some of France's beautiful countryside.
We're now in Switzerland.
Ooh, just made it to Lausanne. About to catch our last train of the day.
Once in Lausanne, we ran to catch our final train of the day, taking us to Sion, a small town situated at the base of the Swiss Alps. This was our favourite train journey by far, as the views all around us were breathtaking. This area of Switzerland is known as the Valais, and is famous for both its ski resorts and for being the home of Switzerland's side of the Matterhorn, one of Europe's tallest mountains.
As soon as we arrived in Sion, we were greeted by Sylvain and his dad, who took us up to the small alpine ski village of Anzère in fully electric vehicles, charged using solar power collected from panels in their backyard. Only a short 20-minute drive from Sion, we pulled into Anzère just as it began to get dark.
We've arrived.
Woo! We settled into Hotel Zodiac, then headed for dinner at Restaurant La Poste, one of Anzère's traditional Swiss restaurants. Prior to this trip, one of our biggest concerns was that the 6 of us would struggle to find plant-based options at restaurants or even the local supermarket. We had mentioned this to the team at the Anzère tourism office, and little did we know that they had called ahead to request vegan options or menus to be prepared for when we arrived. Over the next few nights, each restaurant was incredibly accommodating and provided us with delicious, often 3-course vegan meals. For the following 2 days, we lived it up on the mountaintop, taking in Anzère's unprecedented panoramic views, snowboarding down its many slopes, and enjoying the unmatched charm of this little village. Winter sports like skiing and snowboarding often have a reputation for catering to the ultra-wealthy, whose jet-set lifestyles, raclette-powered après-ski, and designer gear make these fun sports seem inaccessible to most. To challenge this notion, we partnered with the incredible team at EcoSki, who rent every piece of clothing you may need to hit the slopes and stay warm at a fraction of the retail price. Ben was obsessed with this yellow jacket that kept him warm in sub-zero temperatures, and I loved these black and white giraffe salopes that gave me space to move but kept the wind chill out. The cool part was that we got to return it afterwards, which makes sense if you're going with friends for the first time or will likely only go once a year and don't want to buy the expensive gear.
So, it's been day 1 at Anzère, and we have loved it, but we've really struggled today. We haven't snowboarded in a year, so we're trying to get our legs back used to it. But yeah, lots of fun, and the scenery has just been amazing. We're at the very top right now. we have to give a big shout out to Jonathan from the Anzer team, because he has been such a help. Such a help in making sure that we don't fall down any mountains.
Oh my gosh, whenever I don't have enough speed to get over a little hill, he's pulled me along with his ski pole, and like literally every 5 minutes.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Anzer also allowed us to feel confident about our choice of stay for a number of reasons, with one of the most impactful being that the resort and the surrounding village is run almost entirely by renewable energy. In 2020, Anzer earned the Gold Energy City label, the highest distinction award to municipalities committed to the efficient use of energy, renewable forms of energy, and climate protection. Sitting at an altitude of 1,500 to 2,500 metres, Anzer, like much of Valais, is powered predominantly by hydropower from the nearby Clusen Dam, as well as solar power and biomass. As the sun set over the Alps, we were invited to visit one of Europe's largest wood pellet heating systems, located in none other than the Anzer village itself. Generating more than 7 million megawatts of energy every year, this project provides heating and hot water to over 120 buildings or 7,000 beds throughout the town year-round. The wood comes from trees that are cleared for roads and paths after winter, and sawdust generated from other projects in local factories. Just 1 kilogram of wood pellets saves the equivalent of 2 litres of heating oil.
One of the hallmarks of Switzerland is also its seemingly endless supply of crisp, clean water that runs into both small villages and big towns from the mountaintops and glaciers thousands of meters above. But did you know that the Alps are warming faster than the global average? This melting can have drastic repercussions on not only local communities in Switzerland, but the entire European continent. As Switzerland's 1,500 glaciers melt, the country will lose 15% of its drinking water reserves. This may not sound like a lot, but in fact, it's enough water to supply all of Switzerland for 60 years. This is another reason why Anzer has been championing sustainability for the last few decades, and is setting the tone for just how desperately other ski resorts and towns need to catch up, or risk being left behind in our rapidly changing world. After 3 glorious days in Anzer, we packed up and headed back down the mountain again to explore the old town of Sion. With evidence of first civilizations settling in Sion from the Neolithic period, this little town is often skipped over by visitors headed up the mountain, but offers more than meets the eye. With Bio-Swiss certified wineries like Du Buis-Rouda showing us how they let nature organically take control of their winemaking, incredible vegan-friendly Ethiopian cuisine at Abyssinia, and historic walking tours by Sion Tourism. Our 2 days in the capital of Valais perfectly rounded off our sustainable winter escape.
So we just did a walking tour of Sion, the old town, and then all about its history, going all the way back to the Neolithic era, and it was absolutely amazing, even though it was freezing.
We learnt so
much. Our tour guide was absolutely amazing. She had such a good understanding of the way this town has evolved over the years, and yeah, really, really highly recommend doing the walking tour if you come to Sion.
Our world today faces innumerable pressing challenges in the face of climate change. Although making the conscious effort to take a more sustainable winter holiday may not seem important, we cannot overlook the impact that tourism as a whole is having on our warming world. Simply by travelling by train instead of flying, both Kira and I only produce 42 kilograms of carbon emissions each for all 6 outbound and inbound train journeys. For some perspective, that's the equivalent emissions of only about 20 McDonald's hamburgers, compared to the 250 McDonald's hamburgers worth of emissions that flying both ways, even such a short journey, would have produced.
So whether you're planning your next holiday in the sun or are looking for a winter escape, taking the extra time to ensure you have a smaller impact on the planet is always worth it, and will ensure that we have beautiful landscapes to visit for years to come. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like and subscribe button below. We'll see you in the next one.